Buddha said that the root of all suffering is attachment. But try to tell that to a young boy who his mother just died and he's truly in a suffering state because he lost his mom. What do you say to such boy? Watch this video to find out. So that person was my nephew a few years ago, and I'll never forget because I brought him to Thailand, and he was about 1 year after his mother died, and he had been to some of my coaching and like seminars as I'm taking him under my wing. But I remember he came to me and says, "Uncle Mike, it's been a year since my mom passed away. Is it okay if I feel sad today?" And I looked at him and I said, "Hey, sure, that's fine. You can be sad today." During that time, I was teaching an NLP class, and I continued to teach the class, but I told a story, which is a true story, about a man who had raised his hand in the past in one of my class. And he said, "Listen, I'm very depressed. Why? Because my mother died and I really miss her and I'm sad and like depressed. How could you help me?" And I brought him through a process that really helped him. I said, "Do you love your mom?" He says, "Well, of course I love my mom." I said, "No, do you really love her?" And I asked him that 2 or 3 times, and he got a little bit peeved at me, and he says, "Of course I love my mom." And I said, "Well, if your mom was here right now, would she want you to be sad? Would your mom want you to be in a suffering state or a beautiful state?" He says, "Of course my mom would want me to be in a beautiful state." Then I said to him, "Well, then I think it's your job to show your mom you love her by living in a beautiful state." And I remember he had a tear come down in his eyes as he realized, wow, what amazing transformation of meaning for him. And he totally transformed. He was able to get out of his sadness as he recognized that the one thing the person he loved the most would want for him is to live in a beautiful state. And that really impacted him. And as a result, he changed. And I'll never forget, I stopped telling the story. After I told the story, I had a break, and my nephew came to me and says, Uncle Mike, I had a breakthrough. Your story was really great. You know what? I realized that I'm not going to be sad today. I'm going to be living in a beautiful state," right? And this is the power of NLP. NLP has the power to change from a suffering state to a beautiful state. So in this video, I'm going to share 3 secrets to change the way you feel with NLP. And they're very simple secrets. Let's start with secret number 1, which is to change how you represent your bad experience. I'll give you an example. Can you think of a person who you don't feel good about? Maybe they did or said something to you that made you feel bad, right? I can think of somebody like that in my own life. But one of the things that we teach, and most people try to do this, they try to change what they're focusing on. And in NLP, we want to change how we're focusing on it instead of trying to focus on something different. So for example, because sometimes we loop in our head and we can't get out. So I want you to think of that person and put your hand like that. And now what I want you to do is shrink that person so they're really, really small. See them in the palm of your hand, right? And now when you look at that person, you probably hear a little squeaky voice, right? How does that make you feel? See, the only thing that we changed was how you represented. Take that event again that did not make you feel good. The second secret, turn it black and white. Take that event and shrink it down as well. If you make it black and white and shrink it down to very small, what happens, right? Because you're taking your picture and you're shrinking it down to that way, and now it's black and white, let's say like that, very black and white, and then it's small. The smaller you make it, right? Make it very, very small. How does that make you feel? Again, it changes the way you feel about it. Let's add one more secret. Secret number 3, add some circus sound to this little image. So play it forward and backward as fast as you can with some circus music, right? And as you're doing that, how does that make you feel? It makes you laugh, right? As you hear that music. This is what we call the scramble technique in NLP. We all use the same 5 senses, but the way we represent in our head determines how we feel. Does that make sense? If you like this video, share this video, because when you're sharing this video, you're not just sharing a video, but you're helping to transform how somebody's feeling. So share this video and then live in a beautiful state. Bye for now.